My name is Jim Fleming, and this is Our Sunday School. Our Sunday School is part of Stuart Heights Baptist Church in Chattanooga, Tennessee. To prepare for this lesson, please go to OurSundaySchool.com for a copy of today's handout. Now, let's get to this week's lesson.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Our Sunday School. Happy New Year. All right. And you'll notice that you have a handout on your table today, which is a little bit different because today is one of my favorite Sundays of the year. It's Alignment Sunday. So we remind ourselves what in the world are we doing, and indirectly, what are we not doing? So I mention this often when I teach this lesson, but you've probably seen or been part of groups where it took a minute to figure out, like, wait, how does this work here? And today is where we all make sure that we are squared away on some very fundamental questions. So I'm just going to ask some questions today, and we'll walk through some answers. But first question up is, why does our Sunday school exist? And I would say that our church has a purpose statement: to experience, know, and enjoy God so we can make Him known with our words and our works. And our Sunday school purpose statement is the same words. Because if we have misalignment between our church's purpose statement and our Sunday school purpose statement, then in our car is about to cross 60,000 miles, and when I back out of the driveway and hit the brakes, there's a little bit of a squeal. And what happens over time in mechanical things is things degrade, right? Things deteriorate, and we're going to have to, probably in the next month or so, have somebody who knows what to do to make that go away, do the thing that they need to do to make that go away. I think it involves brakes, would be my guess. And they will go fix it. And what happens is something that was originally designed has drifted just a little bit. And today we get an opportunity to take a look at, have we drifted? If we have, that's correct. If we haven't, that's good. Let's just reinforce. But I don't want any daylight between our Sunday school's purpose and our church's purpose. Because everything we do in here has to submit to the authority of our elders to make sure that we're in alignment so that we can, as we learned a few weeks ago in Ephesians, not just protect the unity of our church, but like we are being after it, like we are going to go get this and pursue this because this is really important. Now, the thing I love about our church and our Sunday school purpose statement is that the order is actually in the right, the order is correct. So we start with to experience, know, and enjoy God, so our relationship with God, and then we move to making Him known with our words and our works, our relationship with people. So what do we do with that? So this order is really, really important. And then how do we accomplish this purpose? This is our mission. Our mission tells us what we're going to do, and indirectly your mission tells you what you're not going to do, right? Because if it's not listed in your mission, you shouldn't be doing it. And this is how Taco Bell eventually ends up serving breakfast. Right? Like mission creep. Like, well, somebody else is doing it. Well, that's great that somebody else is doing it. Let McDonald's make the biscuits. Like, they're pretty good at that. They're okay at that, right? Let Cracker Barrel make the biscuits, right? Just let them stay in their lane. And I would argue that, there are a lot of things that are really, really good, that we have no business doing in our Sunday school class because it's just outside of our mission scope. So we're not going to be about that. We can't be all things to all people at all times. So our Sunday school mission is to grow our relationships with God and people using our heads, our hearts, and our hands. And that order is important too. So we do this by providing a safe space for, and now we get to the tactical elements. So number one is studying the Bible, and this is not books about the Bible. We'll reference a ton of books about the Bible, which you guys know I love to read. But our goal isn't to become commentologists. I talk usually every year about Josh Waitzkin, probably my favorite person who's written anything on learning. And this is, remember who Josh Waitzkin is? Waitzkin? I talk about him every year. See, this is why repetition is important. We're not to Johari yet. We're going to get to Johari soon. Darla's like, come on, get to Johari. Skip all this other stuff. It's okay. It's all right. We'll get there. Lord willing, we will get there. Josh Waitzkin, if you've ever seen the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer, the little chess prodigy, right? So he was a chess the Searching for Bobby Fischer was based off of Josh Waitzkin's true life story. Josh Waitzkin was a chess grandmaster at the age of 8. Now, I don't know any chess grandmasters, and I don't know that I want to know any that are 8, because that is like super overachieving. But what he had figured out that he didn't know he'd figured out was how to learn things extraordinarily quickly. And what this meant was that he could apply this to lots of different disciplines, and he has. And now he is an expert at a whole host of things. So he goes off to college and he takes a course in the classics where you read, all the classic works of literature for the last several thousand years. And he gets the syllabus, and the syllabus does not include the classic works of literature. The syllabus includes the commentaries on the classic works of literature. And he said, why are we not reading the actual works themselves? Oh, well, they're really hard to understand. We're going to read, like you're at an intro level, we're going to read something that somebody's already written about them, and that's what we're going to study. And he said, well, I don't want to be a commentologist. And I thought, that is a lovely word right there. I really love that word. And I desperately do not want us to be a commentologist either, which is one of the reasons you won't see me leading a study by whoever your favorite author is about a book of the Bible. Those have great places, great times, but I'm not going to live long enough to teach the Bible. And all God's people said, no duh, right? So this is about engaging our heads with a substantial interaction with truth. And I might be wrong, but I think what we get in here on a regular basis is a substantial interaction with truth. And if you disagree, I'd love that feedback, because I want to crank up the level so that we get to the word substantial. That's my goal. And so another way to describe this is doctrine or orthodoxy, to grow in lifelong learning. So the second thing that we're going to provide a safe space for is praying for others. I've said it for years, but I think our Sunday school is a good place to start a friendship with like-minded people headed in the same direction who believe mostly the same things. I don't know that it's going to be a very long, slow process if this is the only time that you engage with other people to make friends. But this is about meaningful connection with believers. This is about passion, and this is the kind of the fancy word for this is orthopathy. It's what we believe. And our goal here is to grow in lifelong connection. And then the third is serving others, because we serve out of relational connection. We build relational connection out of our knowledge. So these are in order. And this is orthopraxy, or what we're doing. And our goal is to grow in lifelong service. So we're trying to engaging our hands with ministry training and opportunities. So notice, if you will, that the first one there helps with our relationship with God, and the second two help with our relationship with people. So these things are ordered and structured in a way as well. And then if you notice, if you zoom out a little bit, it's head, heart, hands. I can't help but do it this way. Otherwise, it's just not structured. That's the way my brain works. So summarize so far, we exist to experience, know, and enjoy God so we can make him known with our words and our works by growing our relationships with God and people through studying the Bible, praying for others, and serving others. And how many times have I said the word our so far? A lot. So many times, in fact, that I say it so fast, our Sunday school, that transcription services don't even pick it up that it's the word our. And I've been told by many people I should slow that down. And I will try to slow that down for 1 or 2 attempts, and then I'll speed it back up. But Sunday school, just like Christianity, is a group assignment. This is not an individual exercise. This is the opposite of I, me, my, mine. And it doesn't happen on accident. We have to prepare in advance for this to occur. So the next question I would ask logically is, how do we get ready for class? How do we prepare? Well, I think we get ready to study by being rested and read up. So I don't know the last time you took a test, like an actual written test. But I bet if I deprived you of sleep the night before, your performance on the test would reflect the fact that you were deprived of sleep the night before. Was that relatively, everybody resonate with that? I got a lot of nodding heads. I have a hard time studying, especially teaching, when I'm tired or when I don't know what's going on. Imagine walking into a room and you're given a test and you have no idea what's on the test. Is this somebody's like nightmare? You've ever dreamed this? And you're like, you have? I don't remember my dreams, so I don't have nightmares, which is great, but kind of weird too. So I hate that you have nightmares about testing. But I'm not going to. Oh, testitis. Yeah. Well, guess what we're not going to have in Sunday school? We're not going to have a test today, which is good. I reserve the right to have a test at the end of Ephesians, but not today. We'll have plenty of time to review the material before that. Pop quizzes along the way. That's exactly right. So we get ready to pray with others by leaning in and engaging. So this looks like staying and praying during the prayer time and not leaving. And you guys do a great job with this. I just want to encourage you to continue that. And then we're ready to serve with others by being on time, having eyes open to needs, and mouths open to engage, and open hands to work. So this is looking around and seeing who might be sitting by themselves and making sure that they're not sitting by themselves, because we have a standing rule in our Sunday school that nobody sits by themselves, which we would want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So when you see this, for a visitor, my wife is sitting by herself right now. She does not count. She is the exception here. She's perfectly fine with that. But when we see it, we have visitors come in. So let's say we had a visitor come in and a couple sat down at the back right table where nobody is right now. Guess what I would need one or two of you to do? Like, go move. And everybody else would just go, yeah, that's what we do. It's how we engage. This is how we care about people and engage with others and serve. So that's the way this works. Now, I think you've got a blank. This is your first blank. You ready? Your first blank. We is anybody, regardless of, and you can feel free to put whatever word you want to in that blank. It all works. If you want to put religion, cool. If you want to put gender, if you want to put age, if you want to put sexual orientation, if you want to put, I don't know what else you could do, height, if you want to put weight, if you want to put favorite sports team or not, if you like, whatever word you want to put in there, like, we will work there. But we do not skip over any biblical text. So coming up in Ephesians are some words that are like fairly explicit, and we will not skip over those. So if you see somebody come in and they have a small child, I will likely on those weeks have something up on the screen. In my notes, I have G to X. So if it's rated G or if it's rated X, like if it's toward the R or X, we will note that on the PowerPoint so that everybody kind of gets a heads up. But we're not going to skip things. We're not going to skip things because God gave us the text, so we're going to study the text. So that's what we're looking to do. This is the how. It's our preparation. And when we do these things, I would argue that something really cool happens. Relationships start to happen. And that's kind of fun. And now we're going to get to, Darla, you ready? The Johari window. There we go. So one of the things that happens in a very strange way is let's go to the next one here, Dave. So this is, you guys have seen this a couple of times, but we've got the you ask and the you tell. So you ask other people, and then you tell about yourself. So the arena are things that everybody knows. So everybody knows that I'm wearing a gray sweater right now. You can see this gray sweater, right? Everybody knows it. The facade is what I know and that others don't. What I know and that others don't is that I got my first pair of Birkenstocks a couple of weeks ago. I have not fully broken them in yet. And I'm debating right now whether to change shoes between Sunday school and the service, whether or not I want to stand up another hour and 10 minutes in these or not. But I brought a pair because my wife is wise and kind and doesn't want me to hurt all day, which is good. So that's in the facade right now. I know that you guys don't. I don't. But by me sharing that, right, I just said something. I just made the arena a little bit bigger. Now, we've also got the blind spots. So the blind spots are things that other people know that I don't know. I know that it's about time for me to get a haircut. And when it's about time for me to get a haircut, my hair does this little dip thing right here, and it drives me up the wall. Absolutely up the wall. And Julie and I have an agreement that she's supposed to do this whenever my hair starts to do that. And she hasn't done it yet this morning. So I'm guessing it's still good, right? It's still good. But it's a blind spot to me because I can't see it. Does that make sense? Yeah? So, like, I have to ask for feedback and input and relational engagement in order for the arena to get bigger so that everybody knows what we're talking about. And then there's the unknown. Nobody knows. 2 years ago, I gave the example of the unknown is, I'll give you an example. I go to the doctor and I take a test and they're going to tell me whether or not I have a heart problem. And last year I stopped doing examples because cancer. So we're not doing examples like that anymore. But the unknown is just what neither party knows, right? So what happens when you share is the arena gets bigger. And this is one of our goals. We want the arena to get bigger and the facade and the blind spot, the unknown, to get smaller, because this is where relationships happen, right? Relationships happen in the arena. And hurt happens when I think you ought to know and you don't, or you think I ought to know and I don't, and we behave in ways where we're not aligned, and there's mismatched expectations, and now we have friction and heat, and things start to fall apart. So I actually believe this is one of the core elements of how you just keep people aligned. So that's how we are ready to engage with each other in class, by being ready to study, pray, and serve. So what's our process? Anybody know our process? Yes, it's exactly right. Our process is to pray, hear, think, talk, study, and invite. I literally wrote a book on this, right? We wrote it down for our class so that we could be really clear about what this is. So now that we know our purpose, our mission, our preparation, our process, what are the commitments that we make to each other? So this is our membership commitments. So what members can expect is weekly opportunities to study, pray, and serve. And I've got a little, I don't know if your handout has an asterisk on the one on the study. It doesn't. In my teaching notes, I have a little footnote here. The minimum quality and consistency for our class. Y'all remember what it is? McDonald's what? It used to be a hamburger. And last year we upgraded it to a cheeseburger. That's right. Because with the inclusion of a physical printed bound handout, I feel like you can at least expect a McDonald's cheeseburger level quality every single week. Now, every once in a while, you'll get a double cheeseburger, okay? Probably once a month on the way home, I'll tell Julie some version of, I think Sunday school went okay this morning. It's about once a month is how I feel about that. And about once a year is, okay, that was a Big Mac. That was a Big Mac. Because Big Mac is her favorite McDonald's. I almost said food. I'm not really sure it's food. They have changed their website, the description of the cheeseburger, though. It used to say 100% pure beef burger patty, seasoned with a pinch of salt and pepper, topped with a tangy pickle, chopped onions, ketchup, mustard, and a slice of cheese. And the cheese had an asterisk. Beware the asterisk, right? And now it says slice of melty American cheese. So something changed, and I don't know that I want to know what changed. So I'm just going to leave that alone. But I wanted to let you know that's where we're at. So membership expectations, there's going to be some minimum level of quality each week. You can expect daily prayer by name from me. So I pray for all of our members by name every single day. You can expect that when stuff comes up in our lives, that we will try to rally and help as needed. You can expect a physical handout, so you're going to get a bound handout. But you should not expect me to be your best friend. I love my wife too much for that. So there we go. What should the teachers expect? Well, the teachers should expect, and I say teachers plural because there's other people who stand here, to the members to do the mission, to do the preparation, and to do the process. This is the expectation. If you want to be a member of our Sunday school, that's what you're signing up to do. Membership comes with commitment. And if you want to commit to these membership commitments, I invite you to be a member. This is a lesson that I put on our Sunday school webpage. And when somebody says, hey, how do I become a member of our Sunday school? you watch this lesson this year, and if you decide you want to commit to these membership commitments, let me know. Congratulations, you're a member. And we're happy to have anybody be a member at any time. And the contrapositive, I think, is that if you don't want to commit to these membership commitments, I would encourage you to find a class where you will commit. And if you've committed to these in the past and you go, you know what, I don't know if this is for me anymore. Okay. There are lots of different seasons to life. I'm okay with that. No hard feelings, but please leave. Because we want people that are fully engaged and committed to what is going on. At no part in the Bible do I ever get the sense of like halfway is good. There's a full commitment to things, right? So I think we should bring that to our commitment to Sunday school as well. All right, so what do we believe? This one's pretty straightforward. The Baptist Faith and Message 2000. This is our church's theological statement of faith. I have a few goals. Well, hello. Sorry. You just make me happy, so I just wanted to say you make me happy. Welcome. I have a few goals when we teach each week. One is 1 Corinthians 16:14. And these are all out of the LSB, Legacy Standard Bible. So let all that you do be done in love. I will never, ever, ever forget, I hope I never forget, that lesson that Doug Skinner taught on the armor of God. I don't know how many years ago it was. It was at least a decade ago. And you talked about love and how it covers the whole person, and it's got to be the first thing that people interact with when they engage with us. And if it's not, yes, I do. I promise you it was you. It was profound. I honestly have no idea what you said the rest of the lesson, because it was one of those, yep, and I'm gone. I've got to go think through y'all ever had that moment where you just kind of, yep, we're going somewhere else now. But this, let all that you do be done in love. 1 Corinthians 14:40, if God ever wrote a verse for me, but all things must be done properly and in an orderly manner, right? I don't know if that one was just for me. I don't know if you get anything out of that, but it's super helpful. And then if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably be scared, but I'd probably also tell you that Nehemiah 8:8 is my life verse. This is the Levites here, read from the book, from the law of God, explaining and giving insight, and they provided understanding of the reading. And that is fundamentally what I am trying to do every single week in our Sunday school. I want to read clearly. I want to explain and give insight and make sure that there is understanding of the reading. Like, not any more complicated than that. That is what I as a teacher am trying to do. We as a group are going through the pray, hear, think, talk, study, invite process, but that is what I am trying to do. Now, if we do everything in love, strive to do things properly in order, then we'll have created a culture where reading, explaining, and understanding the Bible can actually occur. And then the last few sections here on the handout are the tactical items. Somebody tell me what DV means in the parentheses next to our schedule. Anybody remember? You remember, Brian? Next to the when and where do we do this, our schedule, the DV. I listened to last year's lesson of this class this morning on my walk, and you said the answer to this last year. Deo volente. Why didn't you say it? That's pretty close. Pretty close. It means God be willing. So 100 years ago, if you were reading a newspaper and there was some type of an announcement about some event that was coming up, you would see to the right of that announcement in parentheses DV. Because we plan to do this if it's God's will that we do this, if he allows us to do this. And this is what we plan to do if he allows us to do it. So Sundays from 9:07 to around 9:45 or 9:50 in the multipurpose room at 1505 Cloverdale Drive in Hixson, Tennessee, except for Easter and the Sundays closest to Christmas and New Year's, and then potentially the weeks where I teach an ACT crash course. We'll talk about those here in just a minute. So that's when and where we do this. And then who does what, right? Who does the work around here, our assignments. And you'll notice that there are help wanted signs next to before, during, and after class. Y'all see that? So have we got a job for you? So before class, members, we need everybody welcoming and sitting with others. Dave leads the audio setup and operates the PowerPoints. Thank you, Dave. During class, we've got help wanted. So before class, we've got help wanted because Dave needs a backup because he's got family in other places. And how many grandbabies you got now, Dave? Two. You like to go see them once in a while, right? Yeah, there you go. So during class, we've got help wanted. So I'm Jim Fleming. I lead our Sunday school and the primary teacher. My goal is to teach about 40 times this year, but not on these particular dates. So April 5th is Easter this year, December 20th and 27th, Christmas off, New Year's off. And then these are dates where I'm teaching another class where I will not have a voice the day after. So if you're a member and you've got a biblical text that you want to teach on one of those days, just let me know. We'll talk through it. We'll set you up. Love to have you teach on those days. So those are open spots on our Sunday school calendar. And then after class, you'll notice this section is sponsored by Linda Decker. She manages and collects and distributes all the prayer requests after class. So thank you, Miss Linda, for that. I believe is she loving on the little ones this morning? Yep, there you go. And then she schedules and leads the lunches and the parties because if you've probably been around me for more than 5 minutes, no part of me screams, I bet he throws a great party. No, I don't. We will read books quietly, and that would probably be it. So, and that might be your thing. I don't know. There we go. And then the last section there, that last little bullet is TBD and TBD. There are things that I would love for us to do, but nobody has said, hey, I am gifted and equipped and skilled to do that and have a passion for it, and it aligns with our purpose and our mission. And as we have people who are gifted and skilled at doing things that align with our purpose and mission, we'll establish additional assignments. So those are the thresholds that we're looking for before we're going to say we're going to start something new. And then finally, what are the resources that we're going to use for the rest of 2026? Y'all know what my only New Year's resolution is each year, right? Y'all know this? I've said this a few times over the years. My only New Year's resolution is ever to write the date correctly. That's it. And I usually can make it a week before I do it wrong. I messed up yesterday, so didn't even make it to the first Sunday this year, which hasn't happened in a long time. But what are our resources for the rest of 2026? Well, obviously the Holy Spirit, leading, guiding, directing, doing what the Holy Spirit can do. Ephesians. Now, we are currently scheduled to end Ephesians in November-ish, maybe late October, probably early November, maybe late November, we'll see. But there should be a handful of weeks where we can get ready for a new book of the Bible. Would you like to know what is next? Would you like to know what's next? So we've done Colossians, we've done Philippians, we've done Ephesians. What might be missing in that grouping? Galatians. Yes, Galatians is next. And I am excited about Galatians. I've begun working on Galatians. And Galatians is not Philippians, let me tell you that. Paul gets a little raw at times. So Galatians. So what else are we going to need? You need a Bible, the Holy Spirit, the Bible. For our class, you'll need the physical handout, so the Ephesians handout, the Galatians handout. And then I would strongly encourage you to at least have gone in your phone once to oursundayschool.com. Dave and I are going to do a live demo real quick just to walk through to remind us what's out there, because there's just a lot of information out there. So scroll all the way to the top, Dave, if you would. Cool. If you go to this page while class is going on, there's actually a little, don't click on it because it'll open up 9,000 other little things. But there's a little watch now that will take you to our Sunday School public Facebook page and show you can watch along. So it is literally the easiest way to watch a lesson while we were going live, which is kind of cool. So down here at the bottom of the home page, this is the next lesson that's coming up. So if you want to encourage me ever, like the easiest way to encourage your teacher is to walk in and go, I'm excited about, and then say whatever is right here. Like, I knew what we're doing next. That's really awesome. Great. If you miss a lesson, guess where you can go? If you miss 2 lessons, guess where you can go? If you miss 3 lessons, like, come on. Right? But it's all right. All right, scroll back up, Dave. Let's go to the About tab. If you're sending somebody to, right there. If you're sending somebody to, what's that? Oh, there it is. I see it right here. I'm chasing it. Ooh, he can do it. He's trying hard. He can do it. Nope, so close. Can you see it? Oh, it's right here. There you go. Great. I was like, okay, so this is a perfect example of a blind spot. That was it right there. Could not ask for a better example of a blind spot. Like, we saw something and Dave's like, I don't like, what's going on? Let's let that fester and escalate for a couple of minutes. And then we get frustration, right? It's all sorts of crazy things. So About just gives you an idea of what our Sunday school class is, where we're at. This is the lesson. Today's lesson will be posted here. Whoops, we disappeared. Yeah. Now we're just going to scroll down a little. Yep. Very good. A little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. So our purpose, our mission, a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. You can watch me age. This is fantastic. All the things. Scroll all the way to the top. Let's go to the next tab, Dave. Not that far. Keep going. All right. Visit. Hey, he's got it now. Very good. All right, good. So if you want to come visit, this is the directions to our class. While we start at 9:07, I'm not going to go over that today. Scroll back up. Let's go to listen. If you miss a class, if you're a podcast person, we have a podcast. If you're not a podcast person, all the lessons are here. We're at 681 lessons. Good grief. 681 lessons in the podcast. It's really quite ridiculous at this point. So that's kind of fun. You can go back and listen to prior lessons. Just go to contact. If you want to reach out and go to our public Facebook page, our private Facebook group, all the things are there. We put the prayer request to the private group. Scroll back, you can shoot me an email. Let's go to Toward. There's a free copy of the book online, a PDF. It links to the printed versions. If you're a member and you don't have a version, I'll get you a copy. It'd be great. I finally just gave in and said an audio version is an aspiration, which is my way of saying it ain't going to happen. So there we go. Scroll back up and let's go to the page that's got the most information on it, the study. And this is where all the prior stuff is. So I've got 700 plus lessons ready to go. If you get asked to teach a lesson on something, just go steal. It's easy. It's fine. On the left-hand side, we've got, keep going, Dave. We've got our series in Ephesians. This is where we are next. So Lord willing, next week will be January 11th. We'll be in Ephesians 4, 7 through 8. Week after that, week after that. So you kind of know what's coming up. I don't put any more out than that because God looks at my schedules and laughs. So I found it's just a waste of time. Scroll all the way back up, and then we'll click on the subscribe button. And then, so we've got a weekly email. You can follow us on Facebook. We've got a YouTube channel. You put 37 different ways to listen to the podcast. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, all the different things. And then Sunday afternoon-ish, you can sign up to get an email for all the stuff from the lesson for that day. Well done, Dave. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, questions about any or all of this stuff that we went through today? What do we have most of a year left to get through? Ephesians. I'm telling you guys, the good stuff. The good stuff. Oh, there's so much good stuff. I'm excited. So with that, that's all I have for Sunday school today. We can move into our prayer time. So you should have your weekly updates on your table. So lean in, engage, pray as a table over those. When you're done, we are free to go and to worship our Lord Jesus Christ and to celebrate a new season in the life of our church today. So we're excited about that as well. So thanks for coming today, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks for engaging. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, YouTube channel, and weekly email. You can subscribe to all three of those at OurSundaySchool.com. Grace and peace to you.